I drew a picture of this house, a really, really nice pen and ink, like, you know, it was for a class for when I was going to high school. But I drew like a really nice picture that my mom hopefully still has it framed in her place now. But I remember I was sitting right here, looking this way. And that was this was my angle for.
What's it like being back in front? I mean, you haven't been in this home in how many years?
Oh, since early 90s.
Right.
Like, I haven't lived in this house since 1990.
Right.
But I think I can't remember. My parents sold in 93, 94, and 95 was a year where we did a lot of touring, and I didn't even really have a place to live. We went from the U.S. tour to the Europe tour. I don't even remember where I was. I was like kind of living at Kirby and her roommate Lori at the time. Much to Lori's dismay, I was kind of crashing there in between. So I didn't really even have a place to live until after that. And then when we found the Circus Palace.
The Circus Palace, okay.
Which not necessarily a palace.
Yeah, that needs to be a scene stop. We need to do a scene stop.
Well, the thing is that ties Circus Palace and this place together was I lived there first, but then Popeye also moved in. It was 2 bedrooms in the back of a house. There was just adjoined by a bathroom.
And there was only one way out, right?
You
had to go through your roommate's room.
Yeah, you had to use the back stairs to get to it, but you would enter through my room, and then there's the bathroom that connected both rooms, and then Popeye's room. But so no kitchen, but we had 2 sinks in the bathroom, and one was designated as the kitchen sink, which I rarely used, and then one was the bathroom sink. So we were doing all kinds of.
How long did you and Popeye live together?
A year and a half.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's all that time's a big blur. But that song, the song Greentree, which we were.
Well, I was going to say what is the significance of us being here in front of this house? Where are we?
That's the house I grew up in. The only house I knew when I was, the city of Irvine was founded in 1971, and that's the year I was born. I was told I lived in an apartment in Orange for my first few months of my life, but this is where we moved when I was an infant, and this is all I knew up until when I left in 1990. So yeah, this is my childhood home.
And it's in the tract.
And yes, and the housing tract. That's how we do it around here. Is called Greentree, and that's why the song that I wrote for the album 3 to Get Ready. Now I wrote it when we lived in, renting the room in Costa Mesa, which is known as the Circus Palace. I wrote that song thinking back to when my folks sold this home. I was a little broken up about it, but now that I'm older, now that I've had some distance, I understand, and also you get to know that a house is not a home, it's just a house. So I do have good memories and stuff, but when I look at this place, it's someone else's house now. It's not, it's okay. The balcony up there, they're in the house. I don't know what they're doing to it right now, but it's not for me to, it's not none of my business anymore. But
you don't want to go over and get involved?
The street right here crossing, and then the stop sign that we're standing at, there used to be a big tree that would cover. Let's see if this guy even stops at all. All right, you make it. But when there was a huge tree covering this stop sign, it was hard to tell if there was a car about to turn right around.
Okay.
And so.
And the city never came and cut it.
Maybe they did decades ago, but like at the time, but people would really cruise this stop sign like big time. But I can't remember how old I was, maybe like 7 or whatever. I was playing at the park. I came home, and I'm always supposed to make sure there's no cars coming, but I crossed the street, and I got popped by a car that ran the stop sign, and I got hit by a car. My mom said she was in her room up in the balcony there, and she heard like me like grunt, like a oof, and it wasn't terrible. I had a little fracture on my arm and a little bit cut up on my knee,